I'm Yori Folari. I'm sorry to be coming a bit behind schedule, but here we are now. Our deepest apologies. So our guest this morning, I don't have any time for any sort of preambles, is Dr. Eddy Olafeso. Now, why I said it like that is that he's the former National Chair Southwest of the People's Democratic Party, and we're going to be looking into the subject that we looked at yesterday. You recall that we were together yesterday, that is you at home and us in the studio here, when we were looking at the same topic from the point of view of the APC, the ruling APC in Ondo State. And we were speaking with the Chief Press Secretary to the Governor. Now, and you recall that we did want desperately to hear from other stakeholders in the November 16 election. It didn't happen. We wanted people to call in. Just let's hear about it, because there's more than APC that has a stake in this race. But I'm happy to say that we have Dr. Eddy Olafeso today. He's the former national chairperson, Southwest People's Democratic Party. He joins us from his home, and we're delighted for that. And we'll be able to hear about the PDP's preparations and perspectives, impressions, and what they hope to bring to the table, as it were, should their candidate win, and what are the chances of their candidate. So once more, good morning, Dr. Olafeso.
Thank you so very much, Yori. Nice talking to you again.
Same.
Good morning, everybody, and my brothers and sisters at the studio in Lagos. I hope you're hearing me loud.
Yes, yes, thank you very much. We can hear you very well. Now, the first question to ask is that, well, from news reports going back to when the primary for the election were held, everything was good. And, you know, you have a candidate in the person of, well, the former deputy to the now late Governor Akeredolu, Honorable Agboola Ajayi, as your candidate in the party. So the first question to ask probably is, how do you fancy your chances in the upcoming election?
First of all, we have APC to thank for giving us a great opportunity for us to tell you that we're ready and that we're going to win the November 16 governorship election in Ondo State. The situation in Ondo State, like any part of
but how do you mean, sir? How do you mean, sir, that you have APC to thank?
Yes, because they've done nothing. All they have done is to, you know, just collect money from Abuja and appropriate it for themselves. Nothing is happening in Ondo State. There is nothing like infrastructure. They've abandoned education. Health infrastructure is in shambles. Most of the doctors are gone. There's no replacement. There's no recruitment. People are hungry and angry. There's so mystery. There's so much mystery in the land. And you know, that's exactly why I said that we have them to thank, because when we get to town, everybody is really, really deeply concerned, and they are very eager and desirous to change, you know, this government that has done nothing for them. Like the Americans will say, if it's not working, if it ain't working, look for the West. Our people are looking for an alternative for a government that is not doing well here in Ondo State.
Okay. Well, actually, I suppose it's not unexpected. That's actually like diametrically opposite to the perspective of the APC. I spoke with them yesterday. So I'm saying it's not unexpected.
You know, let me tell you, you know me too.
I'm afraid we've lost sound. We've lost sound.
Exactly what is going on.
Okay. Yeah, I just got sound now. I'm afraid when you began to speak, we didn't hear you. So could you please start again? Now we're hearing you.
Can you hear me now?
Yes, we can hear you now.
You can hear me, but I can't see my face. I can't see my face.
But
you can hear me?
Yes, I can hear you, and I'm sure the visuals will be okay. But I can hear you.
All you need to do to get the reality on ground here in Ondo State, give one of your reporters a microphone and go to Ojaoba, go to Arakale and speak with the Okada riders, speak with the food vendors, and you see exactly that, you know, this is there is pain in the land. So it's not embellishment, it's the reality of what is on ground. People are really in pain. this part of the country, despite the gift of God, despite the fact that we take 13% derivative, despite the fact that we have, 3.4 million in people out here, we're not getting anything from the APC government, Yori. That's the truth. It's not your life, it's not true. Truth is universal. And the reality of it is that they have abandoned our people. What they do with our resources is internal politics amongst themselves.
Let me just quickly, Dr. Lafeso, let me quickly say here that the reason we can't see your face now is that somehow your picture has managed to, manifest itself upside down, and so we can't take you because of that. So something happened. Okay. Maybe when you touched it.
Okay. So can you see me? Can you see me now?
As soon as it is the right way up. Yep, it's the right way up now. So yep, we can hear you. And indeed, I heard what you also said. But beyond what I was saying, that we would expect the viewpoint to be different between the ruling APC and that is PDP. There are quite a number of things that you can't really blame on them. You talked about, and we did talk about that yesterday too, the Japa syndrome among, essential professionals, particularly the doctors. You can't blame the APC for that, but they did explain to us efforts that they were making to
what was their explanation yesterday? Because I didn't see your program. How could it be an explanation where remunerations were not paid? The doctors are not paid very well. Resident doctors are not hired. And no matter what they say, I think what you're going to do for me, Yori, is that, interview a few of them. I get your reporters to interview a few of them. There is nothing they say that estimate the circumstance they put all of us. They are poorly paid. They are poorly rewarded. There is no response to them. There is no medication, no drugs in the pharmacies. And most of the hospitals are Indian. All you need to do, you're a good Nigerian. All you do is just pay a visit and see things for yourself. I'm not going to embellish anything. I'm a statesman. I'm not a politician, and that makes me different from anybody else. I've said the truth as it is.
Okay.
This government is not doing anything. The governor here thinks that what is important is grandstanding. Even members of his own party. Yesterday, if actually you have interviewed some people in APC, apart from the government, you could have had the truth. I'm telling you that they've done a lot of job to make sure that we win come November 16.
Oh, okay.
Look, let me tell you, I'm a farmer.
Okay.
I have been looking for one tractor to rent since March. The planting season is gone. Nothing has been given to the farmers in this state, and they will lie to you. What they do is this tokenism of commodities being spread. What do they call it? That the things that all of us are too big with. You see, we're not commenting just because we want to comment. We are commenting just because things are not going the right way. There's nothing wrong with me coming to this, Zoom.
Oh, okay. There's a, I can see what's happening over there. So every time we lose sound, and in trying to, that guy who is helping you, well, that hand, I hope he doesn't accidentally put it in the orientation that makes your picture upside down. So right now, we've lost sound, but I did hear everything that you were saying. It was a story of woes, actually. You said nothing has actually been happening in Ondo State. Okay. I take that. I take that as you put it to us.
Can you hear me?
Yes, now we can hear you. I just heard you.
Thank you.
Okay, so
keep going, going, my brother. The realities of ground is what I've explained to you in the language I can express it.
Yeah.
But those people that are affected are deeply worried. There's number of death, number of suicide, and the children are dropping out of school. Even the school buses that we give them as a welfare to parents are all gone. The president is doing the best he could to actually help in supporting the states. Where is the 5 billion they brought to assuage the situation? on the ground in Ondo State. None. We can't get anything. I am sincere about what I'm telling you. The APC has actually ruined the fortune of the state, and the earlier we take over, the better for us, because we have a track record from when we took over office in 2003 to when we left in 2007.
Okay.
2009.
All right. Yeah. Okay. Now, the thing to ask is what is your assessment of how the people of Ondo feel about all of this? Because you're going to go to the polls, and Honorable Abu Olajayi will be asking for their vote. So he's going to have to go. He's going to have to go with goodies, by which I mean sound commentary, sound campaign, sound proposals as to what it is that he can do to correct the ills as APC might, as PDP might see it, that you say is on the ground now.
Thank you very much. We have prioritized our programs, and by the time it comes out, you'll be shocked that the years of our experience here will make us, revisit the situation in the state. And within the first 100 to 1 year, you'll begin to see changes that will be sustainable, and that the people will begin to see that this state is ready. Number one, security. It came upon us. From the bombing of the Owo Church to this moment, it has been a situation where you cannot sleep with your two eyes open. Everything is about this kidnap, that bandit, bandit struck somewhere, travelers, youth coppers.
The security situation is poor in your estimation, very poor.
Every on the situation, you're telling me that is nationwide, but the reality of it is that in Ondo State here, we pride ourselves in the past that we look out for ourselves, and with all the successive government that have gone beyond, Amotekun started here. Under Aketi, it wasn't like this. Let me tell you, it was better. And then suddenly Aketi died, and apparently this government that came up was unable to take the gauntlet of leadership to be able to sustain security. We have taken serious look at that. And after security is agriculture. You see, we have arable lands. This state is about 18,000 square miles,
Okay, the network and bandwidth issues probably. But I do have Sunday in Kano on the line. Mr. Sunday, good morning. Are you still there?
Yeah, good morning. Good morning.
Good morning, sir. Thank you for calling in.
Please, I want to correct something on the screen. Dr. Olapeso, Dr. Eddy Olapeso was described as a former national chairman Southwest of PDP. It's not correct. It's not correct.
I see.
He was former deputy national chairman of PDP Southwest. Former deputy national chairman, not national chairman.
Okay.
Southwest. There's nothing like that in the PDP constitution.
Okay. Okay.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much for that observation. I'll just check it out with Dr. Olafeso. Did you hear him? Are you still back? Are you back on us? Oh dear.
I'm still online. I'm still on the line.
Well, thank you very much, Mr. Sunday. I have taken note of what you have said. That will be addressed. Thank you very much for calling us. You said that if you're still there, I did hear what you said, that in the PDP there is no such office. But did you want to comment on the upcoming Ondo governorship election apart from that? Well, perhaps that has gone as well. We're seeming to have a challenge with the communication. Well, Dr. Olafeso, he's joining us by Zoom from his residence, as he said, but there's been... okay, let me take Mr. George, who has called in from Ikeja. Good morning, Mr. George.
Good morning, Uncle Yori.
Thank you.
Good morning to the guests.
Yes.
Uncle Yori, remember yesterday, I was the one who asked the CPS to the governor, the question about the progress the state has made in governance since the governor came in.
Yes.
After the program, and based on the response he gave and other callers, I sent my friend who is based in Akure to go and check what is happening at the Mother and Child Hospital, which the previous governor established.
Okay.
And in the night, he came back and reported back to me that everything was working on fine there. He spoke with the head of the pediatrics department, and what that doctor told him indicates that what had been in practice has not deteriorated. He said people are still coming from other states to that hospital because of the facilities that are there. That is to say, the facilities that were working there that was attracting people from other states to come for help there, they are still there and they are working. That tells me that there isn't a deterioration in medical services around that sector. Uncle Eddy, we had to, truth must be told. The Amotekun, which oversees security matters in Ondo State, were the people that helped to ensure that this Boko Haram insurgency that was coming from the north did not infiltrate into the southwest. Since Akeredolu left and this new governor took over, there hasn't been anything to show that Amotekun did not continue in that function. I am looking at things on the face of facts, not suspicions. And the security situation in Ondo State as a state isn't the worst in the country right now. So there hasn't been anything to show that security situation has deteriorated. The kidnapping that is happening there is not higher than the ones that are happening in other states.
Okay.
So let us base our discussions on facts and not on fiction. I'm yet to have data to prove that since this governor took over, that things have deteriorated. Let the gentleman tell us whether the medical doctors in Ondo State have gone on strike since this man entered. Let him tell us whether the workers in Ondo State has it got the figures to show that the workers in Ondo State are not paid. The CPS yesterday said, yes, it gets data on what has been paid to pensioners, what has been paid to the current workers, and the wage and work that we are paying. If all those things are not in place, let him show us the figures. And I like to deal on that. Thank you.
Thank you very much for calling in, Mr. George. And earlier, I believe that you're back with us now, Dr. Olafeso. You're back with us now. Can you hear us?
From Ikeja in Lagos. And he's talking about Akure. He's talking about Amatekun. He's talking about, Ondo State that is so far away from him. I have told you before the commencement of this Zoom meeting that you should get people on ground here to say exactly what we're going through. Most of the mother and child centers now, utilize this phone touch for surgery. And sometimes there is no light whatsoever, not to talk about, medication, not to talk about equipment. It is a shadow of itself. Do me a favor. I don't want anybody, tarnish my reputation of integrity and character. All you need to do is to find out these things and come back to say, no, Eddy was wrong. There is none of this thing working. 50% of the doctors are gone. So why exactly is he saying that they are being paid regular and that's why they are not on strike? Do you want to interview the NMA chairman in Ondo so that I can tell you the woes they go through every time with this government? Their insensitivity to the people is phenomenal. And that's exactly what is creating the fact that they are all done. Because our people can no longer taste dicks anymore. We are too blessed to be poor. Ondo State is one of the richest, one of the 7 of the NNDC states, and there's nothing to show for it. Ekiti State that is landlocked, that has nothing. like 13% derivative, is still better. Ado is still better than Ondo State. It is so dirty out here that anytime you pass through Arakale and Oba Adeshida, you see how times have changed. This is the same state that is one of the neatest in Nigeria, that this state that, must have taken 2 or 3 awards for the state capital must have taken 2 or 3 awards. If you want to actually help Ondo State, why are you going to be partisan to the point of lying to the rest of the world and saying that everything is going on very good here and that he has done so extensively well? Send somebody. It's a simple assignment I've given to you. For the gentleman, I feel pity for him, because history will be unkind to people who, because of patronages, are willing to continue to sustain lies and not being sincere about what is going on. Yori, you asked me exactly what we tend to do differently when we come in October. And I was reading that before the disconnection. I have just mentioned security that the man is responding to. I was talking about agriculture, about providing tractors for each of the farmers in each of the local government, providing arable lands. That is prepared land. The major bane of agri in the country is the fact that lands are not prepared in a large mass like in the United States, where farmers are allotted and they are given, seedlings, improved seedlings for them to do that. During Agagu and Mimiko's era, we distribute seedlings in millions to people in cocoa, in most of the commercial crops and other crops to farmers. They are trained from time to time. Tell me exactly what happened. I'm a farmer. Tell that man that I got 50 hectares of land from the state government in Ilaramokin. I plowed it, I harrowed it, I reached it, I planted cassava, and by the 8th month, herdsmen came and ate all my farm. It was plundered. I was in that whole place after spending that 20 million, and nothing ever came to me. The case is still with Amotekun. So how can that man sit in Ikeja? God, history will not forgive those people who are sustaining docility and inability to function in a position.
Dr. Olafeso, let's just stay on the facts. Because our people will say, "Olokpa won't take away." So
Yori, how can somebody be saying Ikeja and telling you what is happening on those states?
Yeah.
Tell me his address in Ondo State.
Okay, tell you what, I'll take a break now. Please still stay with us. We'll be right back. Let's quickly take a break and then come back to us.
A fresh breath of air is blowing through Kogi State, north-central Nigeria, with the coming of Ahmed Usman Ododo as the 6th democratically elected governor of the state. In his first exclusive interview since assuming office on the 27th of January 2024, Governor Ododo tells TVC News Babajide Kolade Tutoju about his desire to build on the progress recorded by past administrations in the confluent state.
I have been in the system for over 8 years. We have carefully chosen our strategy and plans to ensure that we don't miss our step.
He said his administration is leveraging agriculture to boost the fortunes of the state.
I am proud to tell you today that I am a complete farmer. By engaging in agriculture, sir, it will guarantee food security or food sufficiency. That is one. It is another non-kinetic way of solving insecurity.
The governor also promised to expand the scope of infrastructure in the state with novel projects like an airport.
A state like Kogi State, if you don't have airport, then there's a problem. It's a vision which, by the special grace of God Almighty, with the effort Mr. President and the interest he's putting, we're going to actualize it.
Watch the full interview with Governor Ahmed Ododo on Journalist Hangout on Thursday, 25th of July by 5 p.m. only on TVC News. Don't miss it.
Okay, you're welcome back. Our guest is Dr. Eddy Olafeso. He's the former Vice National Chairman, Southwest of the People's Democratic Party. We had a mistake, and we thank Sunday, who called him from Kano to point out that, look, in the PDP, he must be a member. We don't have any such office, that the esteemed guest is the Vice National Chair.
National Vice Chairman, sorry, National Vice Chairman Southwest.
National Vice
Chairman Southwest.
Thank you very much, sir.
Southwest team. Yes, no problem.
National Vice Chairman. So I'm sure our producers are noting that particular nomenclature. National Vice Chairman.
You already just called me Eddy Olafeso, I'm fine.
Okay, I get you. I get you. I get you. Thank you. I get you. So, well, you see, you've been, first of all, the two very important things that you're speaking about here, speaking about agriculture and speaking about security, and the two actually are linked. And in that connection, Amotekun plays a key role. Now, we also mentioned that yesterday. As you said, you didn't see the program, but you also have not scored, you've not scored Amotekun very well at all. But the impression one had was that they were doing as much as they could within the circumstances. Now, why what you're saying is very important. You just told us your, let it be said, lamentable story about the returns on your investment in agriculture. And, but you won't be the only one. There are other farmers, right? So this is a general concern. This is not just an Eddy Olafeso matter. It's all farmers, well, most of the farmers, especially large-scale farmers, will be experiencing what you are talking about.
Yes. You know, I can hear you very well, Yori, but, you know, maybe you come again. There's an interruption here. Okay,
I was saying that since there will be a number of large-scale farmers in Ondo State, they all will be receiving the same, experiencing the same difficulty that you were speaking about. You were actually comparing and contrasting with countries abroad where the government actually prepares the land for them. So is farming, apart from the security challenge that affects farming, is it even more difficult because of what you just explained? And you're saying that the government has not been able to add any value.
You know, I don't know if you're hearing me.
We can hear you. We can hear you.
It's not affecting, you know, large-scale farmers alone. You know, subsistence farmers are having it difficult. How much is the cutlass in the market now? How much do you buy herbicides? How much do you buy insecticides? How much do you, you know, clear farms? What is, before a daily paid laborer, we earn 2,500 to 3,000. But they said you cannot even get one for 6,000. I have to abandon my farm because I no longer get hands to work out there. And what I did last year was all destroyed by the harassment. Look, if anybody is telling you Amotekun is not doing well, Eddy Olafeso cannot be one of them. They're doing the ultimate best they can. They are inhibited by the laws of the land, and they are prevented from doing their ultimate best because nobody is actually looking at their side to ensure we improve on what I've done. I give kudos to the governors in the Southwest, especially in Ondo State.
Well, it cut off again because I was going to ask if that includes also His Excellency, the governor in Ondo State.
In Oyo State and farming, because that once hunger is out of you know, the poverty circle, that poverty is gone. You know, we need to support everybody, even fishermen, or everybody that has to do with producing food for the people. How are we sustaining them? How much is a liter of diesel? And you know, that farmers can use to move goods from one place to the other. And all this, you know, all conspired to create crisis, much hunger in.
Okay, you know, because I'm interested, I'm hearing what you're saying, Eddy, but because we are interested in, we have the Ondo governorship election in focus, and your candidate, Honorable Abuolajayi, is going to have to say something to the electorate, not just something, he's going to have to say. So and he can't really be speaking about criticizing the existing government exclusively. He's going to have to say what he will be doing to rectify these observed situations, shall I say. Infrastructure, for instance, what he can do with the brain drain of medical personnel, education, you know, that kind of a thing. These are the things that the people are probably going to need to hear from him about.
Sure. We spent months after the election. You see, there's a clear difference between the way we conducted our primaries here and the way the APC people contrived theirs. And we have shown that we are ready for democracy, and we've learned from our past mistakes, and we have started taking things differently. It was a peaceful, crisis-free primaries that everybody celebrated around the whole country. And after that, Alfred Agbola is in the saddle. The People's Democratic have taken upon himself to ensure that we are ready. And that's the reason why I was talking about the seven-point agenda that focuses on education, that focuses on agriculture, education, healthcare, infrastructure, the blue economy, and the general overall performance of the state to bring it back to a sustainable level of economic activities that will not make our people beggars like the situation has been now. Agbola is ready. We are ready to back him, and we're backing him. And you can see the quantum of the campaign. You see the problem with the APC people in Ondo State. They are so confident that money can buy anything. But Nigerians have learned that it is not about money now. It's about what you promised, your capacity to deliver, and the ability to understand. It's not about you. The only rich people in Nigeria are the political elites, governors and others. All the ordinary people have nothing else to show for their citizenship. And those are the things I'm saying that, along the line, my brother, something must have to change. This government will change in November, and there will be a better place. I can tell you, I'm not one that will come and abuse anybody here. Exactly. But I'm speaking to what is existing, of which I'm a part of. I'm using myself as an example. Imagine if I borrowed 10 million from the bank, and then the herdsmen came, they cut my cassava to feed their something, and in the end, there was no justice. Nobody was arrested, nobody was prosecuted. I have to return home a poor farmer, dejected and consumed. What can you do? What can a citizen do? Commit suicide?
Eddy, you said something. You said there are those who hold the view that the ruling party thinks that money can buy everything. On the contrary, when we were speaking to them yesterday, one of the things that they did say is that, look, Ondo is a progressive state. Anywhere you take that to, Ondo is progressive. That anybody who is trying to come in, it's such a formidable array. They acknowledge their right to join in the contest, but take it from us, Ondo is a progressive state, and that's what we were told.
I know what progressivism is all about.
Okay,
it is not an abstract word or something you can bandy around and you believe it can connote any meaning. Progressivism is ensuring you deepen democracy. Progressivism is looking out for your citizens and ensuring you provide for them, both the young, the old. You have, you have an employment over 50%. Those people that they say they pay their gratuity. When you get to the books, you know how much they have actually started lying against those people that have given 30 years of their lives to serve the state, and they have now to continue to take, pittance as part of their, gratuities and the usual allowances that are due to those who have served.
Well, so this is markedly. I beg your pardon, Eddy. Excuse me for butting in. Okay, excuse me for butting in. But whereas I acknowledge your right to tell us the viewpoint that you do have, because we actually asked for differing viewpoints. It's not just to hear from the APC stalwarts and say we're done. We need to hear from everybody else. But in fact, I even have likely one such calling in from the UK now. Is Mr. Eddy there in the UK?
Yeah, good morning.
Good morning. Good morning, Eddy.
Yes.
Go ahead.
I want to contribute to what you are discussing.
Indeed, indeed. Go ahead.
yes, I'm APC through and through. But what is happening in Ondo State, the next governor will be PDP. God that is there is just like a lame dog. Nothing is happening. There's a crime has increased. All what Aketi has started, they have stopped the job. It's in my town, Aketi town, they have stopped its work. Nothing is going on there anymore. It's just everyone around it are even complaining. And you see that nothing is happening. So PDP.
Well, Ade, I am grateful. Ade, I am grateful for your calling in. But Eddy Olafeso, he had very short shrift with someone who called in from Lagos. Now you are calling in from the UK. But let me ask Eddy himself. Eddy, what do you think of that contribution all the way over in the UK? Eddy? Eddy, could you hear me? Okay. Okay, that guy called in from the UK. What do you think?
You see, the truth is sacrosanct and universal. And why I actually questioned that man, he said there is a friend of his who told him.
Okay.
So he's believing, something that he did not see. This man that actually called you from London said he is aware. There are clear distinctions from the two comments, my dear brother. So you see, we're not far fresh from what we have told you is truly happening here. It is like burial ground. Things have gone sour. It's going to the north. You see, the president is doing his best, I must let you know. He sends money to these people. He expressed his own frustration to you. Some of them have the capacity to utilize that money for their state and do something better, while some people are just incubating it for November. They are not doing any jack of any campaign, but we have gone deep into the campaign. We are moving from house to house, and we are not advertising everything we do on the pages of the newspaper, social media, or television. We are telling the people that a better time is coming. Agbola will take the gauntlet of office and do the best, and Agbola is ready to defend his own stewardship. When he was with, my dear friend, late Akeredolu. So we are ready.
Do you think it is going to? Do you think it is going to be an easy? Do you think it is going to be an easy sell for Agbola or a tough one?
You say what?
I say, do you think it's going to be an easy sell?
I can hear you.
Do you think it is going to be an easy sell for Agbola Ajayi? Or a tough sell going to the people?
Believe me, even in the Aketi camp, even everybody in the Aketi camp understands the fact that, things happen in the past and people are accountable for themselves. And I believe that Alfred Agbola Ajayi will give account of his stewardship under his leadership. There is nowhere we went in the campaigns that he did not pour encomium on his late boss. And with the reminiscences of it, I believe that Aketi did some yeoman's job here. A very believable person with strength of character and honor and integrity is quite different from this, ill, and always slippery, saying one thing to one group and telling the other to another group. That's exactly what we find out here. Leadership must be serious. The pains of the people are your people. Where are the buses on the road again? What happened to our schools? Tell us how many schools you built in the death of Aketi. Tell us how many roads you have commissioned. In Oyo State, I was there when Governor Seyi Makinde was inaugurating and commissioning 293 kilometers of road between Oyo to Isheyin, and then from Ogbomoso to have opened all those places to farmers to continue to bring their goods to the cities and to continue to advance and proceed.
And you don't see like
we have not seen that.
You don't see that kind of thing in Ondo. Okay, Eddy, I beg your pardon. One moment, please. I beg your pardon for interrupting you. One moment. Shegun in Abeokuta has called in. Good morning, Shegun.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning.
I just want to ask the man a question.
Okay.
And my question is this. What is going on in Ilaje axis of Ondo, where it seems a river line exists.
Yeah.
Where farmer can easily give the society fish, and there seems to be no light for the past 12 years. If you go to Ilaje axis, I can tell you authoritatively that there is no light.
All right.
So just let him tell us what they can do.
Okay. Okay, exactly. Yeah. Okay, thank you very much for calling in. That's Shegun in Abeokuta there. Well, people are calling in from all over the place. I wonder where the people are, the people of Ondo are. We'd like to hear from them as well. But thank you very much, all you guys calling from the UK, calling from Lagos, calling from Abeokuta. Eddy, what do you think of that? That's a good talking point to take to the people towards November, isn't it?
You see, in the eras of Olusegun Agago, in the eras of Olusegun Mimiko, in the times of Aketi, the promises and the hope of a better and prosperous Nigeria, you know, is hinging on the Southern Central District Blue economy. You know, you recollect the effort made. Dr. Agago was to establish 6,500 hectares of rice farm between Akotogo and Agbabu. 6,500 hectares, the land is still there. There is no light in the Southern Central District, as the young man Shegun from Ogun State said, for the last 13 years. People were deprived of light and the possibility of being part of a productive nation. How can that kind of state be said to be progressive? What kind of progressivism is that? And, you know, now all these things are still lying fallow out there. Nothing is being done. There was a proposed, you know, a road from Iditala straight to Lagos out there that was, you know, awarded about 25 billion by Aketi. The road has been abandoned. There is nothing.
Okay. We lost the sound again then. Adetoro is calling in from Ikorodu. Good morning to you. Okay, Mr. Adetoro, go ahead.
Good morning, Mr. Forani. Thank you very much.
Yes.
I pray that your man there will be able to hear me. Yes, I thank God that somebody calling from Lagos, my man is trying to force somebody called from Lagos. That how can he know what is happening in Ondo State? Then, as God will have it, as God is so fair, somebody was able to call in from UK. So I don't know what you could say to somebody calling from UK to somebody. Yeah. I'm from Ondo State. I'm from Ikuakoko in Ondo State. I'm based in Lagos here. That everything that is happening in every nook and cranny of my state, I know. Because I have stake in that state. Look, what is the PDP man telling us now? They had the opportunity. What did they do when they were there? Look, the man there, I'm so sure he will fix whatever is still left there. Aketi could not complete. He will do it. And he will perform very much better. The people be ready with their what do we call it? Their voter's card. There's no room for PDP. APC will fix whatever. It's good for us to stay with the government at the center. Because I know the support that President Tinubu will give to, even, it's not even discriminating. Look at what somebody said yesterday about Tinubu. The president from the governor of another state said, look, everybody is saying that President Tinubu is discriminating against the North. It's a lie. The governor said it. Why? For every Nigerian to hear that the man is really giving support to other parties in the other states.
All right.
So that is just it.
All right. Well, thank you very much. Thank you very much for calling in. Eddy, did you hear that contribution? That contribution coming in.
Thank you very much. The guy is from Ikun. Ikun today is an abandoned farmland. The incursion of the herders started from Ikun and all the northern central districts. They have to leave their farms. They have to run away into uncertainty. Ikun is in the northeastern part of, in the northeast. I'm aware of those places because I was a commissioner for information, orientation and mobilization in the state, and I have traveled everywhere. His people are equally suffering, worse than this one. And he's telling us that we shouldn't worry, that what have we done when we were there? Is he asking what Mimiko did, or Olusegun Agagoda opened the entire southern part into and connecting with the rest of the country? If you know the number of roads, we had 1,800 kilometers of road under him. So did Mimiko came with his mega schools and rebuilding and improving, the structures and the presentation of our modern school, of our schools, so that it can meet modern requirements. Is it the mother and child? Is it the health? Can he please tell me? I appreciate him. He's a rabid, partisan politician who is willing to keep retaining this whether they do anything or not.
I don't know that rabid is a compliment.
Unfortunately, we won't have the time, Yomi. We won't have the time.
In fact, that's right. I have about a minute left. And that's why I just wanted to use the opportunity, which is what we also did yesterday with your opposition, just to tell us that all is well, moving towards the election where your candidate will be presenting all of what you've said to the electorate. I did ask you a question. I did ask you a question. Do you think it's going to be an easy sell or a tough sell?
Let me tell you, everything in life you never struggled for is not worth attaining. But, we've been out of government and we're returning. And now we're in sync with the people that actually were not on the same line with us. We understand better now because we've taken the beating for the last, a decade or so, and we have made up our mind to work very hard. It is our state of preparedness, our willingness to integrate with the ordinary man on the stage and to let them know exactly what is happening, the quantum of resources that was made available, and there is nothing to show for it. Yori, you're a free citizen of this country. Just take a trip to Akure.
Actually, a crew from TVC did go to Akure recently.
Yes.
They were in Akure
and
recently.
They told you this is paradise.
Well,
they told you this is paradise.
Journalists won't
told you this is paradise.
Journalists are not going to tell anybody that anywhere is paradise. They'll just report on the lie of the ground. But I want to thank you very much that we've finally been able to meet up on air.
I live close to the Governor's Lodge. I am in Alagbaka here. Eddy Olafeso is an old man in this state and in the country. I will never lie about anything.
All right, thank you very much. You don't look that old. You certainly look vibrant. You're vibrant, and there's a lot more left to you.
Let me tell you,
we got to go now.
We are ready.
Very, very quickly, please.
We want APC to excuse violence. They must excuse violence, because we are ready to campaign and we are ready to earn the victory.
All right, then that's a fine place to leave it. I want to thank you very, very much, Dr. Eddy Olafeso, former National Vice Chair of Southwest in the PDP. Thank you very much for coming on our program, and thereby concluding the little series that we did. We've heard from the PDP, we've heard from the APC in terms of the upcoming November 16 election later on this year. That's our program today. Do please join us tomorrow